Hey there, YouTubers and friends and family and anybody else who just happens to click on the link. People who might be curious about adoption or international adoption, welcome to the channel. So in case you didn't watch my introduction video, just a little bit of background. My name's Jennifer and our family has chosen to adopt internationally. And in doing my research and preparing for international adoption, I just found that there was a shortage of resources out there, and I was really looking for firsthand testimonials from other parents who were going through this journey, and I just didn't find a lot on YouTube. So I thought, well, might as well start it. So here we are today, and I'm doing what we're calling FAQ Friday, or Frequently Asked Questions Friday. Once a week on our Facebook page, I'm providing some answers to a question that somebody has asked me. First question, do we get to choose who we adopt? Because, I mean, gosh, we're paying a lot of money, right? We should be able to choose who we're adopting and have some say in the matter. And so the quick answer is no. So if you want, you can turn off the video right now, but hopefully you'll stick around and learn a little bit about why that's the case and why for us it really doesn't matter. So anyways, that question has come to us in a couple of different forms. So some folks have asked, do you plan on adopting a baby or an infant? Do you have any choice in the age of your child? Is your child going to be healthy? And why does it take so long? Can you expedite this process? And so anyways, I'll try to answer some of that through this video the best way I can. So yeah, short answer is no. We don't get much say in who we're adopting. And that's for a couple of different reasons, but to give you some context, so I've talked about the Hague Convention before. It's really a treaty that was established, I think back in the 90s, to help protect children for very good reason. If you can imagine, you've got a poor country, they need money, they need income, desperate mothers, they will do desperate things. And so unfortunately there was a practice, and it's probably still true today, a practice where children are being sold off to wealthier families, aka Americans, who have the money so that they can, in this third world country, fund other things like food on the table for maybe the rest of their family. And of course, that's absolutely not what I want to be a part of. I don't think anybody who adopts internationally would ever really imagine that that's the case, but it happened. There were a lot of children who were more or less sold off or trafficked, and so and in retrospect, those moms probably would have chosen something different had they had the proper resources or funding, or just a chance to really think about the decision that they were making. And so the Hague Convention really established the guidelines and the rules for a healthy adoption, making sure that the children is in the forefront of every decision that's made, and that this is really in the best interest of children. And so through that process, it's really limited the ability to handpick or select how your adoption goes. And so, for example, there are no babies that are available. I suppose we could ask for an infant, but the chances of adopting an infant are extremely low, and it's because there's just proper processes in place to make sure that children that end up in an orphanage really belong there, and that there aren't other resources available in that country to help that mom stay with that baby. And so that's the first thing. So there really aren't any babies available, not like there were 10 years ago. You can't go to an orphanage and see a whole bunch of babies and just sort of, pick the one that you want. It's not like that. And then also the aspect of getting a healthy baby doesn't really have to do with the Hague Convention. It's just simply the nature of adopting from a third world country. So a lot of these countries don't have paperwork, don't have medical records. They might not even have the date of the child's birth. It depends on where you're adopting from. And so when you go into international adoption, usually your agency will ask you to consider a whole slew of different medical conditions, some of them minor, some of them correctable. Things that fortunately in America, we have access to good health care and we can take care of those things. And certainly if it was our child, we probably would have had it done immediately. But because these children don't have the medical care available to them, they might have certain procedures delayed. So there are a lot of kids that are up for adoption who have medical conditions, and you need to be willing to accept that the child that you get may have a known or unknown medical condition. And so at the very end of this video, I will flash up a screenshot of what those different medical conditions are. Our agency told us that if we don't pick any of them, there's a very good chance we might never get matched, because there really are just simply no healthy children available for adoption. They at minimum have some sort of malnourishment, maybe parasites. So there's ear infections, I mean, things that our kids get when they're little too. And so, so that term healthy just isn't a reality. So, and that actually took a while for my husband and I to get. In fact, it really, for a moment, it almost scared us away from adoption entirely, because we thought, well, we're okay with getting an older child. Like that's okay. We can handle that. It's going to take a little bit more work to maybe get a 5-year-old to learn our language. And certainly there's going to be some traumatic experiences that we need to try to overcome. Trust and relationships need to be built. So that's something, you have to think about those things when you get an older child. But when we were told by our agency that there are no healthy children, it was like, are we agreeing to too much? Like, is this too much for us to handle? And we did have a very serious conversation about whether or not we were able to accommodate even the minor or correctable ones. And in hindsight, I mean, I think I know what we came to realize is that this is the whole reason we're doing international adoption is because it's so much bigger than us. There's so much more to this world than us. And I think being privileged, it's very easy to put yourself at the center of everything that you do. And while international adoption, immediately you're thinking, oh, I'm helping somebody who needs it. I'm bringing a child into a loving home and I'm giving them that affection that they need. And that's why I'm doing this. But it's very easy to fall back into sort of that self-centeredness of it all and make it about you. And we realized that that's what we were doing, we were going to back out. We were even saying, that money that we deposited, it would surely go towards something good. It's okay to step away now. This is scaring us. Maybe we shouldn't commit. But we really thought hard on it. We prayed on it. I really feel like we're being called to do this. And so this is sort of a calling. Like I have full faith in God that this is what we're supposed to be doing. We just sort of need to lean on Him and trust that things are going to be okay in the end. And I think you have to have some sense of faith to go through a process like this. And so that's what we did. We handed it all over, and we're saying at this point, like, whatever it is, we can handle it. We have insurance, we've got family and friends, we've got a great community behind us. And whatever God gives us is, it's going to be our child and we're going to take care of it. But there was certainly a mind shift there. And I think in realizing that, it opened up the door to so many other things that sort of aha moments. But I'll talk about that in another video. So anyways, going back to the question, do you get to choose your child? I would say the only thing you really have a choice over is the location in which you adopt. And even that has some restrictions. So we chose Haiti. It's right in our backyard. It's sort of easy to fly to. They certainly need the help right now. They've got a whole lot of issues over there and a lot of children in need. There's a lot of countries who I think have needs, but because of finances, they aren't able to participate in the Hague Convention and that treaty. And so our agency at least has chosen not to partner with those areas, so due to potential corruption. And so even where you decide to adopt from is sort of limited. So anyways, I would say at the end of the day, we're sort of taking a leap of faith on this one, and we know that we are going to be getting a child probably between the ages of 3 and 6. Birth order is of pretty great importance for adoption, and I'll talk about that in another video. Sort of surprising, but we can't get anybody older than our youngest daughter, Lori. So the agency just simply won't allow it, and it makes total sense. But I thought that was very interesting. So it'll be a child between probably the age of 3 and 6. And it's going to take a couple years, and there are definitely going to be some different health challenges that we have to deal with. And we are going to accept it with open arms, because that's what we're doing. That's what we've chosen to do. So anyways, yeah, that's my first FAQ Friday. I'll think of something for next Friday and I'll be back. So hope you enjoyed, and feel free to stick your questions in the comment box below, or you can find us on Facebook. I can't really remember our page name, but it's something about Snyder Adoption Journey. I'm sure you'll find it. So, all right, thank you for tuning in. Until next time, bye.